Alright, let's see if this is working. So, this is partially a creation stream and partially a test to see if I have OBS set up correctly, because that's always the question. So once someone shows up in the chat, if you could let me know if you can hear me, that would be greatly appreciated. I think I hear myself downstairs, but who knows? I don't want to go away yet. Well, yes, there's going to be a delay. I understand that. As long as I can be heard by people watching the stream, I'm good to go. So thank you for checking on that for me. I appreciate it. Now I have to get the link so that I can send it to the person who needs to actually watch this. Lol. Oh, I don't want to open the link because God knows I don't need to hear myself in delay. But anyway, thank you very much. That's appreciated. How do the graphics look? Because the preview looks like they're showing pretty sharp, but you know how YouTube do. So that's always my other concern, considering this is a creation stream. And I've just got to get used to having the windows where they need to be. The good thing is that OBS lets me have the chat open in OBS so that I can keep an eye on the streaming and the chat all at once. So that's handy. Shout out to OBS for being very useful and very straightforward because I had no idea what I was doing when I set this up. But it seems to be working admirably. I mean, no, I don't think any of us want to hear ourselves when we're trying to stream. It just doesn't seem like the right combination of stuff. Okay, I'm glad it looks good. So you can go ahead and mute me now because I don't need to hear myself in echo even downstairs. And I know you had other things you were working on, but I appreciate it. Thank you. So I am working on a CAW for a friend in the as our good friend Lord Amadeus would say, the game we all know and love as Wrestler Unstoppable. That is app.wrestlerunstoppable.com. If you're not already part of that community, you should go check it out. It is free. Please keep that in mind when you start complaining about things. I said the quiet part out loud. Oops. But yeah, so I'm working on some CWs. I've done most of my own. Let me go ahead and I will back out and do a little miniature of those while I wait and see if the person in question is going to be able to make the stream. I do not know because this was a very spur of the moment. I was just like, hey, it might be easier if I stream instead of sending you a bunch of pictures. Because then you can comment and tell me what you think. So we shall see. There she is. She made it right as the computer closed the thing. But yay. So I'm so glad that you're here. I was just showing off the beginning stages here. So let me get her opened up again. And Ignore the weird pose because it just picks random things, and I haven't set that yet. So that's definitely something that we will change. But this is the lovely manager behind. I'm never sure because everyone says Eva, but my instinct says that it should be Ava. So I'm not sure how it's actually supposed to be pronounced. So clarification there would be cool. Just because I don't want to mispronounce it. Obviously, it's an acronym, but you know, what is the correct pronunciation? Also, all the CAWs have the fidgets while you're working on them, and it's very annoying. The strikers are really bad because they just start shadow boxing out of nowhere, and it's very annoying. But yeah, so this is the start that I have. And again, this is all just based on looking in game and trying to come up with the best approximation of things that I can. Because there's obviously not a 1-to-1 ratio here. But everything is up for change. This is meant to be useful to you for promotional purposes. So just let me know what you want to look at, what can be changed, what needs to be shifted, anything like that. I am here to help. And unlike certain people who say that, I'm actually here to help you. Okay. So Eva is the correct pronunciation. Excellent. That is good to know. I mean, we could be very pretentious and just say the entire phrase every time, but I think that would get tedious quickly. But yeah, we can look at the face, we can look at the body type, which you can't really change a lot. So I went with this one because it gave me the right height and weight combination, which is hit or miss this season. It's one of the things they changed that I'm kind of annoyed with. I get why they changed it, but I don't think that it was necessary. But they didn't ask me, which was very rude of them. It feels strange to refer to you as the vulture though, because you don't scream vulture to me. Like, I know that that's the entire gimmick, and I'm just like, no, she's so pretty though. Hello, welcome to the stream. I am currently working on a CAW for my friend Lisa, and we are working on her character from Wrestler Unstoppable. But I need her expert eye for the details here, because there are some things that you can't set in Wrestler that we need to make sure are correct. Like, what color are her eyes? I took an educated guess, and I could have gone one of two ways, and I went one. But we will find out if I guessed correctly or not. The plot thickens. Now this leads to other questions which have nothing to do with the actual character creation here, but are just me being a nerd and wondering things like, was she a witch before she became a vampire, or did the witch come in later? How do the vampire and witch personalities coexist? Does being a vampire help with witchcraft? Does it hinder? Oh, Demon Joker, awesome. Welcome to the stream. I'm just chilling. It's good to see you. I will definitely be picking your brain about that later, though, Lisa, because I have lots more questions about the character building aspect there that have nothing to do with creating the CAW, but are just me being a nerd. You may or may not have picked up on that yet, but I'm definitely a giant nerd. But yeah, just let me know what you want to look at. I know a blue left eye and a right red eye. Well, I was half right because I was actually all right and just didn't divide it because I was like, I bet they're blue. And then I was like, no, I bet they're red. So I was right both times. And yes, that actually is possible. I've just got to make sure I get the right face in the right spot. This is not what I want. Because for some reason, instead of that being under face, it's under attire. Because of course it is. Why wouldn't it be? Yay, lore making. Lore making is my favorite. Like, the character building and the promoing are my favorite part of any wrestling game. And then I get very frustrated with other people who don't have those same priorities. And I'm like, no, I don't care if you won 837 titles. Your character is boring and you don't do anything with them. All right, let's see. So let's see. Left blue eye. Now, what shade of blue are we talking here? Are we talking pale blue, dark blue, baby blue? I can show you the original shade of blue I was going to go with before I decided on red instead, and you can tell me how accurate I am. And yes, Joker, I've seen that. Especially with some of the smaller body frames, you can't make them full 100s even if you ratchet everything up. I've never had anyone that couldn't go above like a 98, but it's still annoying. But most of the places that I'm putting people these days are sim-fed, so it's being booked anyway. I doubt anyone else who actually plays the game is paying attention to what I'm doing right now, and I can always delete this stream later since I'm just doing this as a utility for you to be able to see what I'm doing in live action. So we will eliminate the spoilers because I doubt anyone, or very, very few people who are in the game even follow me on YouTube, much less would be here at this time of night. And the one person who I think is most likely to show up at this time of night is not going to be spoiled. So. And to be fair, I don't think most people are listening to what you're actually saying because they're too busy being excited by your promos in general, which are brilliantly constructed, and I loves them. That was one of the best things about our feud, was getting the sneak peeks of the promos every week and figuring out what was happening next. And I had a lot of fun with that last after hours before our match, where I started repeating what you were saying, and you were the only one who noticed that's what I was doing, but that was all that mattered. It's really funny because I've got the game screen up on one monitor and then I've got OBS with the miniature of the screen on the other. And so I'm watching it in stereo and it's pretty funny to watch actually. Like I said, these CAWs are very fidgety. Oh, you're so sweet. You were doing most of the heavy lifting in that. People were, I think, much more invested in what you were going to come out with every week. I just had the advantage of being able to play off of your work. And apparently freak people out. But no, I had an absolute ball. The feud with you and then this current feud that I'm in are two of the best that I've had in the entire, like, going on 3 years I've been playing a game. A little darker on the blue. We can do that. So... more like that. And then also let me know if the shade of red needs to be adjusted, because we can do that too. That's definitely not a problem. But yeah, good feuds are my favorite part of the game. I write entire scenarios that no one else is going to read just because it helps me keep straight what my characters are up to. I will have to show you some of the stuff that I've written in the past that you may not have come across, since it was before you were in game. Madam, please hold still. You're making me dizzy. Awesome. And then while we're on the face screen, how does the makeup look in general? We can change, anything about the eye makeup. We can change the eyebrows. My Oscar? Oh Lord, no. That was just me having fun with it. It's very rare, at least in my experience, that I get to have something I can play off of live. So getting to hear your promos and then reacting in the moment with them was really fun. And it's the same thing that I've been enjoying in this current feud that I'm in with Paragon, where I was very disappointed that he couldn't be on radio last week, because I was wanting to bounce off of him some more. But just being able to interact and react to a storyteller of your magnitude, of his magnitude. Obviously I'm biased, but I think Griff's wonderful to work with. Teflon Chic, when he's in the mood to play ball, it's great to work with. Hobo Ezekiel's a phenomenal storyteller, and he's so committed to the character. It's amazing. But yeah, so anything that you want to change about the face shape, the makeup, the hair, the eyebrows, anything to do with the face or head, we can totally change. I don't know if it's just like a weird texture thing that hopefully will be fixed with the new patch when it comes out, which I think is supposed to be later this week, maybe even tomorrow. I'm not sure. I just saw an announcement today that there was going to be a new patch soon. But the blonde hair has kind of a weird texture to it. I noticed this with another character that I made who had his blonde hair. So I've tried to adjust as best I could for that. Oh, look! Speaking of my very good friend Paragon, who's just my #1 fan. Yes, I know you gave me a letter and a poster instead. And that was so thoughtful of you. It was just what I wanted. But no, Paragon is absolutely a fantastic person to work with at any time, but especially leading up to Immortal. He throws his entire weight behind it. No, that was not a fat joke, so don't at me. That was just me expressing my admiration of how invested you are in your character and what you're up to. But no, I am very happy to see you. I figured if anyone else was going to be up and available for YouTube at this time of night, it would probably be you. Because you keep even weirder hours than I do. I mean, we can mess around with anything you want because this is your baby and I'm just here helping. So anything that looks off, even if you just want to like make a note of it and like shoot me a private message later. Yeah, I like the way the makeup, ended up doing heavy eye makeup, and then also I went into like facial parts and gave her some like shadows under the eyes because that is not what I meant to do. Good job, me. When you have the mask on, it does end up looking very impressive. I don't know why it does this sometimes when you change the color. Anyway, but let me go back out and we can see how she looks with the mask on again. Never heard of strange hours. You are a liar, sir. But yeah, I just think it makes the mask more impressive. And I think it also highlights the eyes a little bit to have the shadows underneath. So there's a couple of different versions of Domino Masks, and it took me forever to figure out where they were hiding. Because they're not with masks, because of course they're not. Why would they be? But I can show you the other styles of Domino Mask in case you would like to switch out. I picked this one just because it felt the most like an Eva mask to me. But there's also this like flamingo one with a flower, which just seems like way too floofy for her. So I didn't go with that. We've got a very straightforward Domino Mask, but it doesn't cover as much of the face as I thought it should. And then we've got this one, which I feel like if we changed all of the colors to the same would work okay. But I just really thought that this one felt the most like Eva. But if one of those works better for you, just let me know and we will switch it out. And then obviously I will switch it back to being black no matter what, unless you want to do something different. Because I know, like I said, I tried to go based off of what you have in-game, but I know that there are limitations to what is in-game on the Woo side, and then there's also limitations as to what's over here. For instance, I could not give you feathers. The flower. Okay, so we could do like a secondary attire with the flower mask. That's not a problem. And then like you could use that for like promotional stuff for some big feud, which I'm certain that you're going to get. Oh, thank you. I'm glad you approve. But we can do, like I said, a secondary attire with the fancy flower mask for whatever big immortal match you end up getting. Hopefully defending a new title, which would be exciting. Fingers crossed there. I've got a fan support with your name on it when you need it. But yeah, so there's that. Like I said, they don't have anything with feathers. They have this like fur thing, which I know is like very descriptive. If I can figure out where it lives. No, unfortunately not. Let me see if I can remember where I found it. It's not here. It might be under high collar clothing, which is another weird division that they make. No, it's not there. Let me see if I can find that just to show you what this looks like. But unfortunately, it's not something that you can wear. It might even be under jackets. It might have been a different jacket that I found. Unfortunately, it's only for entrances and not for, let me see if I can figure out where I found it. It's not for in-ring, so you wouldn't be able to wear it during your matches, so you'd have it like for an entrance video. There it is. Drum! Hi! So yeah, so this is what it looks like, which kind of looks like what you have in game, but it's only for entrances, so it would disappear for any, like, move, like, you know, any match footage that you wanted to use for, like, a promotional package or something. So that's why I ended up not going with it, but if you want to use this for entrances, then we can totally do that. That's not a problem at all. Just let me know. I hope you are keeping well. No, we can look at whatever you want to look at. I can take you through all of the jackets. That's not a problem. I sat there and like got mad at this for like 20 minutes because I couldn't find what I wanted. And I was just like, why is this not in the game? But yeah, so that's what this would look like in the black. Like I said, it's kind of close to what you already have. But yeah, it is very floofy and there are no feathers. So this game is obviously biased against vultures, and that was very rude. So I thought this kind of gave the same effect. I had to go in and fiddle with it a little bit because, let me zoom in so you can see, these button things were originally white and you couldn't change the color of them, which was very annoying because they looked very stark. But one amazing innovation that I was not expecting in this game is that when I went and covered one up, it covered all of them. Which was very nice because that meant I didn't have to go in and cover everyone individually. And they go around like the entire perimeter of the jacket. So that was going to take me a moment. So that was a time saver that I appreciated. The other thing I wanted in this part of the build to get your opinion on is the top. It's not like what you have in game, in that it's not like, because I know exactly what piece you used in game, and they have some stuff that's more like that, and I'm happy to pull that up and let you see what it looked like. I liked the effect of this, but if you want to see some of those pieces that are more like what you're actually wearing in game, we can go look at those. That's not a problem at all. Favoriting articles is nice. I haven't really tried it yet. Just because I don't have a lot of things that I'm like repeating on a lot of characters yet. I do like the favoriting moves thing, but then I found that it's like very restricted and you can only favorite like 8 or 10 moves at a time, and I was like, well, okay, awesome. No, I thought it looked very nice, and it seemed like the sort of vibe she would have. But I never know until I talk to someone what is an in-game limitation on that end versus no, that's exactly how I want it to look. And we can talk about that when we get to the pants as well. I had another set that I liked, but they were more intricate than what you have in game, so I can show you what those look like and see if you like them. If you don't, we can also talk about the skirt, because I know you were wanting to check and see how poofy it is. So we can go look at that. So I'll do like a 360 here. So it's poofiest at the back. So it kind of gives you a badonkadonk. Well, it depends, Joker, I found on if you can see them in your uploads. If you can see them in your uploads, I believe that you can delete them. But I had the unfortunate situation where I was trying to upload someone and they weren't showing up in my upload list. So I uploaded them like 7 times. And now I can't take those 7 down, which is very annoying. I'm hoping that the new patch that's coming out this week will fix that, because that's a very, very annoying bug to have. This one I do not believe will be going up on community creation unless it needs to go to somebody. And if it does, then I'm more than happy to put her up. But that will be a decision for Lisa to make. But yeah, so we can look at the other skirts if you want to try to find something a little less poofy. They're kind of limited. And again, the skirt that you're using in-game might be a woo limitation, and there are other options. So just let me know what you're thinking there. Okay. I didn't think you were, but I didn't want to assume. If there's ever a time where, because I will keep it saved. And if there's ever a time you need it uploaded at some point, just let me know, and I'm happy to do that for you. Alright, well let me show you what else is available as far as skirts go. The other one that I thought about, and this again could be, because I think this would look well with the flamenco mask. So this might be an option for a pay-per-view attire, if you wanted to switch that up a little bit. I love it. But yeah, so this is what this looks like. I think I need to change the fabric for the first one. That's kind of cool looking. It looks all sequiny. So again, that would be a possibility for like a fancier pay-per-view attire if you wanted. Let me see what other skirts we've got. Got kilts, which I don't think is quite the vibe we're going for here. This is a less sequiny version of the flamenco skirt. And then we also have this, which kind of looks like a tutu. And I'm not sure what that would look like black, so let's find out. Yeah, I haven't even looked at belts yet. All I've been doing is CAW stuff, so just making characters, doing entrances, move sets, which are like the bane of my sanity because they take forever. So this is what this looks like, all black. Which I think also kind of has a Daphne vibe to it. So that's just entirely a matter of your preference and what you think fits what you're going for the most. Tutu is a little long. Okay. Let me back up and we will go back to the original poofy skirt I had. And I like this one. It's kind of hard to see. Let me see if I can zoom in here. But it's got like the goth girl chain on it, which I think just works really well for Eva. So we'll go with those. Let me show you the wrestling tights that I liked. But then I was like, well, maybe she wants the really simple black ones. I mean, I get why they're white, and like some of them don't even show up like this. This is supposed to be white, and it doesn't look white. Like I get why they do it to distinguish that it's a generic one, but it's very boring to look at after a while. So we've got a lot that have like tights. So if you wanted to go with that, you could. I gotta find them again. I should have made a note of where on the listing they were. We'll get there eventually. There's a lot of pieces this year. I'm not sure if it's more or less than last year, but there's a lot. What are these? This is not what I was looking for, but this is also a possibility. They appear to be made of vinyl, but hopefully we could change that unless you want her to have vinyl pants. But those are kind of cool. Eventually I will find what I'm looking for, I promise. Yeah, and that's one of the things is that because there's so much to wade through, at a certain point it just feels like everything looks the same, and then I end up like scrolling past what I'm looking for because it all looks the same. There it is. I do not have enough points remaining. What do you mean I don't have enough points remaining? That's rude. I'll have to figure out. I know what I can get rid of that won't show up. Just so I can show you what this actually looks like. Now I've got to find it again. But I think actually it wasn't too far away from where I was. But yeah, I've had times where I'm like, I know this is in the game, I've seen this in the game, and then I go through and I have to scroll for like 10 minutes because I keep going past it because it doesn't look like it does in game in the preview image. And these tights are a case in point. The preview image does not do them justice as far as like what they actually look like. But I thought these were kind of cool as well. And I was tempted by them, and then like I said, I didn't know if you wanted like the super plain, just black tights underneath the shirt or not. So just let me know what you're thinking in terms of like what kind of practical pants you want her to have underneath the impractical skirt. The basic black tights, that's perfectly fine. Let me go back out then. And I think that they do look good with the general vibe. So this is the basic black. And then these boots are kind of like the biker boots you have in game. But there are like 8 hojillion pairs of boots. So I'm happy to go through and look for something else. I know the boot selection in game, especially like trying to get it to work with what else you're wearing as far as layering goes, can be kind of hit or miss. So if there's a specific style of boots that you're interested in, we can definitely go looking and see what else is available. Oh, thank you. We have fun with it. After we get done here, I can do a little slideshow and show off some preliminaries that I've got. I've built some of my go-tos. So I've got Minerva, I've got Maeve. So I like these boots. I think that they're a good equivalent to what you have. There are some that are fancier. There are some that are like more industrial. So you know, you got like these with like the 8 hojillion extra buckles that no one needs. We've got knee-high ones, which I don't think are quite what we're going for here. We got these very gothy ones. You know, these kind of vague approximations of combat boots that aren't laced up all the way. You still gotta make ammo. You better get on it. You got stuff to do. But yeah, there's a lot of boots. And then there's like some really tacky, ugly shoes too. And then, you know, you can just not worry about anything and go semi-barefoot for reasons. Amber Young, I'm looking at you. But yeah, so if you're happy with these boots, I'm happy to keep them. If there's something else that you'd like to look for, there's probably something equivalent in this because there's a lot of boots. So yeah, just let me know if there's a different style of boot that you're interested in looking for, and we can go through if that's what you want to do, or we can keep these. Makes no never mind to me. Okay, awesome. Oh, I don't just behave. So this is the overall look for Eva. I gave her goth girl fingernails because goth girl. And then I went with a slightly more embellished wristband. Let me zoom in here so you can see how her hands and wristbands look. So if there's anything you want to change with that, then that's totally doable. There's a lot of wristband options in the game. And there's several different styles of nails. And then we could always do a different color if you didn't want the black. See, I would have thought it was going to be the other way around. But I think yours is actually more interesting. And I like that. It gives me ideas. I'm scheming. This is my scheming face. But no, I think that's a very interesting combination. All right, awesome. You're so sweet. I will endeavor to believe that you actually mean that and that you're not just being nice to me because you don't want to be a bother. But if there is anything that you want changed, I will hope and trust that you will let me know. But yeah, so this is the overall what we have. And then I don't know if you want like an over jacket, like, the long trench coat or whatever for the entrance or not. Because we could definitely do that. We'd probably have to switch out the jacket that she has on for the entrance, but then it would still be there for the ring attire. So that's your mileage may vary as far as what you want. Well, we can go look at entrances real quick. Unfortunately, one of the things that was streamlined, we'll say, for 2K22 is the ability to put together like multi-piece entrances. So you can't like start off with one person's and then move to another, and then when you go to the ring, do another. So you've kind of got to pick one and stick with it. So I don't know if there's anyone in particular whose entrance you were thinking about using. But that'll give us a better view of like how she looks in motion, so you can see if there's anything that looks weird from a moving angle as opposed to just standing there. Oh, I need to change her menu screen pose. We can go back and do that later. That's not a huge thing, because that won't really show up for anything except a titles, like a match title screen. So this is the generic, like, air guitar thing, which I somehow doubt is kind of what we want for Eva. And her hand is flashing through her skirt, which is great. Thanks, 2K. But yeah, if there's anything, like anyone you know that you're like, I'd like to try this as a start, we can look through what's available. Nameless ghouls forming a set of human stairs. No, and now I'm disappointed that it doesn't have that, because I would love to see that. I mean, I think, like, one of the obvious, like, potential starting places for multiple reasons would be this one. My understanding is that you are a slightly big fan of Alistair / Tommy End. I don't know if Peyton is in the game. I think she's still here, but who knows? She might be here under like an assumed name. They do that a lot. So let me see if that's still a possibility. Okay, it looks like that might still be a possibility. So let's see. Thank you, Drum. So let's see how she looks. Alright, looks like we've got two different options. I have no idea which one's which, so we'll start with the first one and see. Okay, this one does not have a flower. Let's see if this one does. Nope, there we go. There's the flower. Let me make this full screen so you can see it. Yeah, if we could split the parts, that would be fantastic, but unfortunately they were just like, no, you can't. And that might still be something that we could work out by doing multiple entrances and filming them and then splicing the footage together. But the big problem there is that you can't change the lighting from scene to scene. So the lighting would be a jar even if we got the motion to line up. But I have not played with that yet, so I don't know. Hello, Rob. And yeah, Drum, it is kind of interesting just how many fired people are still in the game. A lot of them under their names that they were using in the game, like they're not even pretending that it's not them. So, how does that look, Lisa? The flower and the walk is far more important. Okay, so we will go with this for now. Let's see. I don't know if you had a video that you used last year, like any of the stage effects, because what we can change are the Titantron movie, the banner movie, the stage ramp movie, which also does the ribbon behind. Like, that's all one piece this year. Dark Poison Ivy. You're giving me more ideas, madam. I'm warning you. I have I have done multiple Poison Ivy versions in this game for Halloween costumes, and you're just giving me ideas, and now I'm gonna play with that later. But I like the idea of Eva as a dark Poison Ivy type. I think that works really well for her. Lisa just does absolutely phenomenal stuff with her character. She is brilliant and talented, and I cannot say enough good things about the way she plays her character. It is a lesson to us all. Drumhausen turned out really, really well. Kiss Drum was also quite amusing. But I think Drumhausen was probably my favorite of the costumes that we did for you. It's just weird and sexy enough that this crazy would probably do it. So we can change the lights, or we can oh, I'm not finished. We can like take all of the screen stuff away and just make it like very dark, because she's a dark person. Like, so yeah, we can turn any of those on or off. just depending on if there are videos that you want for particular parts. And if you're not sure yet and you need to do some research or figure out what you want to do there. I felt like Kiss was an inspired choice for the band because we needed something that worked for the band. I wonder what screen effects we have this year. Blue, gold. So we could do all black and white like she's in the NWO. Got green, got gold, got blue. Got this Technicolor Nightmare. We've got sepia, rose sepia, excuse me. We've got red. We've got orange sepia, which looks a lot like gold. Pale blue, like a moonlight type of color scheme. Alright, let's see what we can find that is a lighter blue. That's kind of cool. I don't know if that's along the lines of what you're thinking. But I will put that up and then see what else I can do. The Predator thermography. It kind of feels that way, doesn't it? That might be a little eccentric, but I mean, you know, that one's up to you. I will set all these just to see what it looks like. And then this one, I think what I would do is turn off the apron so it's just the turnbuckle post. And honestly, I think I'm gonna turn off that as well. And let's see what it looks like without the Titantron on, just the light glow. Let's see how this looks all together. Undertaker has the purple bluish. I will look at that in just a moment then. But yeah, I really am disappointed because I spent a lot of time building my entrances like piece by piece with lighting and pyro and everything. So I am disappointed that that is not an option this year. I feel slightly lied to. I understand the basic reasoning for why they took it out, but I also feel like they probably could have worked a little harder to try to make it doable. But what do I know? I'm just a dame. But yeah, now that I have seen it, but it has been a while. So if you could send me the link to that, in my inbox so I can look at it again, I can play with this more and see what I can do about making something that's a good compromise between looking really cool for the video scheme, but also, like, letting people see you. Because you are too pretty for people not to see you. And I am really pleased with how the CAW came out, and I want everyone to see how nice you look. But yeah, so if you can send me a link to that, so I can take a look at it. Yeah, the Titantron thing with it just basically being people's names, I'm just like, why do I want someone else's name behind me? It's very frustrating, and I don't know if they're going to bring back the ability to upload custom videos or not. I'm not counting on it. I'm certainly not holding my breath. But yeah, I like what you were saying, Lisa, about her being just crazy enough to do the rope things, because now I'm just picturing her, like, laying on the rope, like, dangling her leg, just reciting a haiku. I think that would be pretty funny. But yeah, Drum, I haven't seen your 2K22 call yet. I haven't seen a lot of people's, though. I haven't gone looking for many yet. Thank you, Lisa. I will take a look at that probably tomorrow evening. Tuesdays are my long day, so I won't be at my computer for most of the day, but when I get home tomorrow, I can take a look at it. I'll probably look at it before I go to bed tonight and then just like let it rattle around in my brain tomorrow. But yeah, I think this is a good start. So I will leave it here for now as far as the entrance goes. I will play with it some more and then I can record a video and send it your way. So the other thing that I would want from you, they did take out the generic Titantron vids. They took out a lot of stuff. This game was definitely not designed for CAW, at least not as a primary thing. Look at the victories real quick. But the other thing, Lisa, that I would want from you, and there's absolutely no rush on this, just, you know, if you know now, or, you know, if you think about it or need to consult with someone or whatever, would be at least, like, what you think your signature and finisher moves should be. If you have someone that you built a moveset around before and you want me to use that as a base, I'm happy to do that. Or if you just want to give me the signatures and finishers and anything specific that you know you want her to have as far as her moveset goes, I can build a moveset for her and then we can test her out in a sample match next time I stream. Now that I've got OBS set up and it's super easy, I can stream to YouTube whenever. I actually prefer streaming to YouTube. I have gotten more used to Twitch, but I just still don't like it. I'm glad you like what I've got so far. I definitely wanted this to be something that would be useful to you, because I knew that you did have the other promotional thing, but especially if the 2K19 don't do a rumble. I haven't done anything other than like AI matches just to test out movesets. So what, dare I ask, what happens in a rumble, Drum? Let's see. Let's see if she gets her flower back. She does get her flower back, so we could have her get her flower back if that's what you want her to do. I'm really proud of how she turned out. And that most of that credit goes to Lisa for creating an awesome character, given a very limited amount of pieces that we have in game. There's someone else in game who looks an awful lot like Maeve, and so every time I run across her, I'm just like, you stole my look, which is, you know, totally ridiculous because there's only so many pieces, so a lot of people look like a lot of other people. Okay, that's great. That's perfect. There's absolutely no rush. I will probably be winding down before too long because, like I said, tomorrow's my long day. On the days I'm on campus, I commute over an hour each way. And first I have to get the kiddo to school. So, I probably will not sit down with the game again until tomorrow evening late. But if you so just any time tomorrow is fine for sending me that template. And we'll go from there. So I don't know, do you like the Peyton Royce victory, or do you want to do a different victory pose for her? Have you tried changing your sliders? I don't know if sliders really control much about the Rumble. But I do know generally if the AI is being dumb, that usually what you need to do is move the sliders around. But again, I don't know if that changes anything for the Rumble mechanics or not, because who knows. Okay, so we will go with that for now. No, I need to do that here too. I've never understood the idea of like, here's, this is my, entrant, or, this is my thing for whatever. And then like if I'm a face, I have a different. I'm like, no, my character is my character. They just do what they do. Champion, possessed champion. I mean, she is possessed, but I doubt this is actually what we want it to be. Oh, I don't know though. This is kind of creepy. Oh, she's petting her. I don't know. Do you want to pet somebody when you win your first title? I feel like it's something that Eva would probably do, but that's entirely up to you. And I promise I will get rest. I keep strange hours, and so I would not have been in bed before now anyway, so it's fine. This is not keeping me up any later than I would normally be up. So do you want to crawl over to your opponent and pet them? And show off your shiny? Because I actually really like this for Eva. I think it works. I don't know if this is something that you can do like not. It doesn't look like it's a regular motion, so we'll only be able to do it when you win a belt, but it's still pretty hilarious and perfect for her. So I will go with that for now, and then if we find something better, like when I'm tooling around with it, I find something else that looks like it would work for her. Drum, you keep very strange hours, but you have the excuse of like all of the shit that you have to deal with. I'm just a garbage person, so I don't really have an excuse. Let me go over here and I will show off my other babies real quick, just because I mentioned them. It is. It's so creepy, and it's like I can just see her like singing to them or reciting a poem or something while she's petting them. So not all of these are mine. Obviously, some of these belong to some other people. So we've got Bobby Dazzler, we've got Bones, we've got Chelsea, we've got Devlin, we've got Eva, of course. I made Illyria for Sean on Monstar. Illyria and Melpomene will be showing back up. I've got Gemma. I've got Maeve. Got that asshole Larry Wrestling. Yes, garbage people unite. Joey! I'm so glad to see you, sweetie. I'm always happy to see you. Yes, we have the arch nemesis. Arch nemesis? Is nemesis the plural of nemesis? Nemesis? Might be nemesis. This is why I shared that meme in the Talk Freely chat, because I immediately thought of you too. We've got English, because of course we've got English. Got Team Ireland, because they're my boys. Got Melpomene, who's super creepy. I think she'd be a great tag team partner for Evo someday. Minerva, of course. Gotta make Minerva. Knox, who is hopefully going to be picked up on a couple more shows on the CAW side this year. I'm working on this purple dude who's kind of weird, but is generally okay, so I thought I might help him out. I'm trying to get Maeve's bestie to come back, and I'm tempting him with the promises of a new entrance video. So we have Unstoppable's God Scythe. We've got this asshole Vincent Peters. I love you too, Joey. You're so sweet. This asshole Vincent Peters, who's part of London Pride. And then I've got Wade, who is Knox's tag team partner. Marcus Conan is part of my faction in Wrestler Unstoppable. He is the Hibernian Highlight, which I think is a fantastic name for someone. Let me go to teams, actually, and I can show you what we look like as a team. I'm assuming I can find us. Did I not save us? I didn't save us. I'm a moron. I will post a picture of the team as they currently exist in my 90s chat so you can see it, Drum. People who are on Unstoppable have already seen it because I used it to post a win earlier today. But I think that's just about it for now. This was really fun. I think I'm going to do this again. So perhaps Paragon, if you want to kibitz with me some night. I don't know if you're torturing them as much as you think they are. It's time for me to get ready for bed. As much as you think you are. Because I happen to know that Liam especially loves a pretty lady. And I don't think Marcus is saying no to much attention from you either. I'm telling you, you need to torture that chode Larry Wrestling because he's a douche and he deserves it. I love you, Larry. I know you're not watching this, but I will send you the link so you can hear me talk shit about you. I actually really do adore Larry Wrestling's manager. He's hilarious. I am glad I streamed too, Drum. It's been a very long time since I streamed, but now that I've got this set up with the game on my computer and I've got OBS on my computer, hopefully it'll be just as easy as clicking a button. So, maybe Wednesday, maybe Friday, probably this weekend, if nothing else, I will do some more streaming. If anyone out there watches this video that knows me, please don't be some rando because I don't have the spoons for that. But if anyone who knows me needs a character made, just hit me up. You know how to get a hold of me, Twitter, Skype, whatever. Unstoppable if you're in the game. And let me know and I'd be happy to do a streaming session with you. Thank you so much, Lisa. I saw that. I also saw that he name dropped me, which made me feel special. It's probably because I gave you that fan support earlier. Larry is hilarious though. He is very fun to work with. And he will probably deny this, but his manager is a sweetheart. And it has amazing ideas and it's just absolutely a delight to talk to. Much like all of you fine people in my chat right now. You are all awesome people. I enjoy talking to all of you in and out of character. I have not actually even looked at my Rise. I literally haven't opened it yet. I've just been making CAW stuff. Once I get caught up on the people that I owe to shows, I will probably look into some of the actual game features because I paid enough for this that I should play the game. So I will definitely look into that, and I will probably stream that if I do start doing the My Rise. But I want to thank all of you fantastic people for joining me, whether you were here from the beginning, whether you just came in, whatever. It means so much to me that you stayed and hung out with me. And I especially want to thank Lisa for putting up with me and letting me make a call for her. I cannot say enough good things about her. She is an absolute delight. I'm so glad that she found her way into Unstoppable. There's a lot of chit chat here, there, and everywhere about, what the Unstoppable community is like, but Lisa and Paragon are both examples of the absolute best that Unstoppable has to offer. And I will be around with that game until it goes under, just to hang out with people like them. Oh Lord, I'm worried about what Joey's gonna have for me. I'm kidding, sweetie. But anyway, so thank you all so much. I love you all. I will talk to you soon, I hope. And